I really didn't, I really did not think it was going to be this big, but so be it. Is I need to give you the vast information so you can understand. So here it goes. Let's rock. Anyway, so as I was saying, the different vehicles used is basically invite only training days. Now, here's the thing. If it comes to what we call how you put it, all right, I never told you guys this before in any of the videos in my past that I previously probably deleted, but here's one. Basically, oh no, wrong thing, wrong thing, wrong thing. Basically, in a lobby, invite only lobby usually is where we are located, and we'll fill that lobby up. Before we invade a lobby, what what really happens is before it really goes down, you'll see this. Once people have came from their checkpoints, they make sure they have all their gear is checked or whatever, you know. They will set their spawn point to last location. That way they will be already ready. We revamped that in the past, and I think this is another revamped version of it, where it was usually that they meet the same way they would during training day, but not necessarily so. And it just clicked, and I just got reminded. That's why I had to make a whole new another part of this, another video to explain it. So what happens is tactical usually goes in vehicles such as this, and they just ride there to whatever point location that they are trying to go to. You might see multiple of these type of trucks, the barracks trucks, but pretty much that's the case. Usually the head of that department rides in this. We never really had a situation where all departments had to come into one lobby just about, but if ever happened, it would kind of look real like amazing how it works. And they will go to these points and take over that area. If you have a security unit usually drives in, I would say, an insurgent, which is this one. Reason being because they do not have to, they don't, I mean, they do not have to be already ready and prepped to fight in the battle, in the war zone. They get their things ready there. It's like you have to start over again anyway, so that's what it looks like. On hold still 10 minutes later. I'm sorry, I just got a message. Oh, ah, oh, that's so not cool. Okay, anyway, yeah, so that's that as far as security goes, and as far as I would say tactical goes, and as far as the head of department of tactical goes, or head of tactical department. Sorry, yeah, my mind is in a frenzy. Okay, as I go on, I'll go into other departments. Now, the political department at that time will stay on that lobby. If it's like a what we call a full on red, a full on red is mean where TPN as an organization whole is about to destroy this lobby. Like is they about to take over it. Something happened like in our last situation. Had something like that happen, TPN would have flood like lights going up and up and up and up and up. And imagine it's just escalating, people just coming out of nowhere, back to back to back to back to back. We want to take this person out, back to back. Not that we would have kicked the person out, but we would have did it to the point they would have quit. We would have found out the size of the opposing force, and we would have just kept going until they would have left. That's usually how TP, that's usually how TPN works. Now, another thing is your special forces, they ride in vehicles like the Mesa. Literally. Just a whole line of Mesas going back and forth from the head of department usually rides in the Mesa. And not just they ride in the Mesa, but you have the other ones riding in the Surgeon. Now, if you ask a question like who drives the vehicles, well, of course, it's the support staff or somebody in support who is pretty much designated as a driver. Now, there's two types of driver. There's a driver and only that's used for only in, or what I will say, how should I say this, online or in private lobbies, and there's one for public. They drive a little more, you know, but they part of the squad as well, so don't get it twisted. But if it was ever like a political party coming into a public lobby just to explain something or do something, yes, the driver is a little more different, and they're good at driving. I don't care how it goes. Like, let's say maybe like my caliber, I dodge rockets on a bike, so maybe that good, so to speak. All right, enough said on that end. So that's special forces. Now going on to political. Political usually rides something like this. If they ever came in a private lobby or a public lobby, they would ride something like this. With that being said, they would not be in a chopper unless, let's say, if we was far from their area or their point, then yeah, you might just see them in a chopper. But it would be something like maybe not the little bird. They just, I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Because they would need security with them. So you'll hardly see that. It's just the different things to keep in mind. A lot of it is still being worked on. Some in certain corners is still being chiseled down to what we would expect as far as me, the mediator, which is again my assistant that's behind the scenes. And my assistant knows everything that I know, but they not one of those people that backstab anybody. Why I was actually war buddies and been on the battlefield with this person. And they really don't care to do stuff like that because they already realized in the past how that screws us up. Matter of fact, it was around there at the same time they met War God, well, yeah, I just said it. That'd be the only time I slip. Excuse me. It's just when I mess up, I am down on myself. I am down on myself so. But yeah, they met a friend. All I gotta say is they met a friend. Um, that was also in the military. Matter of fact, the one I had talked about in one of the previous videos. And that's that. Oh, I'm so disappointed. See, I gotta kind of be careful. You know how you had those moments where you get so excited and you start mentioning names, and that's the one thing about me. Like, I guess it was good days for me back then. I talk so highly about it. I gotta be very careful. And that's the only time I slipped up, and that's the only time I ever will slip up in a year. So don't be expecting me to slip up anymore. That's just that. Anyway, so with that being said, you have all those different people in those vehicles heading out. Elite usually just pops up in the lobby and whatever they want to. If they want to ride in a motorcycle or a car, Elite just pops up. They do whatever they want. Elite as far as depend on, well, I'll say depend on who they are. Because if it's anything like a squadron or a special squadron, do know that they ride in a Mesa as well. I mean, not a Mesa, but an insurgent as well. Your support staff, when it comes to things like popping in the invite only lobby, which is a private lobby by the way, you might see them in vehicles such as, oh, excuse me, this. Does it make any sense? Kind of not, but that's the thing. No, I'm just kidding you. When it comes to support, the one thing about support, they ride in their own vehicles. They drive to wherever they gotta be, and that's that. They have a certain time to be there. If they're not there, then trouble comes down. It trickles down. All right, no said. I think I covered all of them. Hopefully, I did. Training, rising. How will I put it? When you first show up to basic, to be honest, we do kind of degrade you. Let me be honest. You honestly ride in this bus right here. We don't degrade you, but basically we let you know you are a recruit. You are nothing more right now. You're not even in TPN. You're trying to be in TPN, but this is the bus you ride in, and it's the bus that will take you to your destination. So that is just that. You get to come out. We get to know who you are. All right, get on the bus. Blah blah blah, and the bus heads out to wherever it is. Now, if it's somebody who's in the political or staff department, mainly political, because you can't just jump into staff or anything that can lead to combat without even going through basic training. Period. And I mean the combat side of it. Political, yes, they can. Political and support jumps on a whole different vehicle, and that is this. Simply said. Oh, still suspended until 30. Alright, let me breathe. So that explains that. I kind of summed that up a little bit more. I really do not believe I need to go any further than that, so let me proceed. Alright. Ooh, rain. Oh, wait. Okay. Alright, I'm sorry. I had something going on in my background. Alright. So here it is. Now, there's the thing that I mentioned previous of saying the different checkpoints before they actually come in the lobby, which is a private lobby, or even, well, let me get more clear on this. In a private lobby, it would be something like this. There'd be checkpoints that's usually located in a freight area, so the industrial area, more so to say. y'all can see. Alright. One of those areas will be this area right here. Hold on, wait. I stand corrected. Right here. This is a checkpoint. So let's say if you live I gotta show you. Hold on. Ooh, ew, not a good idea. That is why you do not take your eyes off the screen when you are flying. This is the thing. If you live in this area, let me minimize this. For those who live in, for those who live in like Toledo Bay, Sandy Shores, Grape Seed, you'll meet somewhere up there in this area, in Sandy Shores. There's a checkpoint there. I have to basically point that one out. But on top of that, if you live in oh, that's not good. Ew, ew, no, no. Okay. Forgive my drawing, no, driving. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, if you live like, let's say here, you meet in the freight area. If you had a house near this area right here, which is like in the inner city, and well, I would say the center of the city, anybody in Los Santos meets in the freight area. Just as simple as that. If you're in Los Santos. If you live, excuse me, I'm so messed up, I'm so sorry. If you're like the east side of the city, usually the place you will be told to meet is on checkpoint, or checkpoint area 1, which is usually LSIA. For those who live on the west side of the city, which will be like where Whiskey Mound Drive, that apartment on down. In other words, if I was to cut the map in half, if you live on the east side of the city, LSIA. If you live on the west side of the city, the freight area. Unless that was a designated spot, which is called a Delta Sierra designated spot, then basically you'll be told to meet up somewhere else. Okay, I stand corrected. Grapeseed, you meet on Grapeseed Airport, that little strip. LSIA, you meet there. I mean, Paleto Bay, you meet at the I'm not quite sure where you meet, but oh, it's a barn that's out there. In fact, the barn is where it's the same area as the marijuana our facility or lockup located. That is where you will meet at if you are in Sandy Shore Airfield. Simple as that, no set. Alright, with that said and done, let me move on. Alright, I'm sorry about this. Or how I explained that, it might have not been good enough. But basically, you'll sit your car in like a facility like this. You'll take your car to, you'll park it either in or around. If it's private lobby, of course, in or around. The bus will pick you up, take you to that spot, and you go from there. Because the bus themselves will be parked in this area. Or, yeah. Of course, it's not the only one. This place is also one of the areas. And that's pretty much it. Alright, to make this clear real quick, when it comes to the people who meet at LSIA, you'll park in this area right here. Including right there. These two structures that I'm looking at right underneath me. You will wait as far as the drop-off point in here. Some people will wait actually in this building. So there you have it. I know I'm trying to rush this because I got like a few minutes to explain this before this video is done. Put it at a 30-minute count, so if I do not get this done in 30 minutes, I suck. So let me break this down. When I was saying east and west, right? All you gotta do is follow this area right here. This freeway. That's what makes it east and west. It's like the center point to Los Santos, or San Andreas. And as you keep going up, you'll notice I'm like splitting the land in half. Most of the dam is east, well, to my east, and a little small portion of it is to my west. As I keep going, I think I will have to do 3 videos. I apologize, but it definitely seemed like it would take 3 because I have not covered all of it yet. It's a lot, like I said, it's a lot to cover. It's a lot to take in. When vehicles come, they'll be parked out along the area in different parts of the area. I meant to say that when it comes to places like this, just regular troops or whatever subordinates hang out in these areas, and leaders hang out. Usually the top area is more singled out. Oh, and then vehicles. Ooh, almost forgot. I really don't know what to say. I think the crazy part to this is their vehicles will be, since everything is so far, kind of right there, that one parking area I'm looking at, and then you might have this area as well. Now there's some other areas where they can park at, but to be honest, those are the only ones I know of. Alright. Another thing is for grapeseed, as far as how you will park, use the pop. Alright, as far as parking when it comes to here, as you can see, there's not really a place to park. So this group right here is about the only ones that I allow them. Well, first of all, subordinates and I believe all subordinates and leaders stay in the same place. As far as vehicles go, well, that's up to the leader to decide, but I would say mainly along the side, which is right here. into 30 minutes. And I'm headed over to Toledo Bay. It's the last location, and I will make a new video. Alright, first of all, your parking space is pretty much right in this area. Plenty of parking space. The place that you guys have to meet is right here. So ordnance in that building, the biggest barn, and leaders in the smallest building. Unless the leader decide to switch it and reverse it. The vehicles, as far as to pick the units and the squads up in this area, will be right here. And by the way, you also can park right here. With that being said, well, I know this has been like a rocky video. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of things that I have revamped on the fly or changed on the fly. So I ask for your forgiveness, and well, that's what good leaders do. They're always thinking and always recreating. And you can never expect anything because they could be subject to change everything. Alright, well, this is Legacy Leader of TPN, and I'm out. Later. I keep doing that.